Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Pastoral Thoughts Podcast. What we have for you is an extended conversation with Brother Ron Domino. We're discussing institutions, historical movements, cultural and cultic symbols, and we're looking at current events in light of the Scripture. And so the goal of this episode, or these series of episodes, these bite-sized segments that we're releasing, is just to use discernment, biblical discernment. We're looking through the lens of the Bible, both past, present, and future prophecy. And we're looking at what's going on in the world. We want to use biblical discernment. And what we see, according to the Bible, the world's not falling apart. Everything is coming together. And so let's think biblically in the times in which we live. Hope you enjoy these segments. God bless you.
So here you have the
the obelisk.
The obelisk connected.
Yeah.
That are all connected all over the Europe. So you have the connection of the three beasts, Russia, Europe, and America and England. Now, in the past, these beasts represent Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. And then Rome has the mixture of iron and clay. I believe the iron is demonic UFO entities trying to mix with humans that we see in this hybrid course.
In Daniel chapter number 2.
Yes, sir.
Daniel 2. All right, I'm going to turn
Head
there.
of gold is Babylon.
Yeah.
Some people disagree.
Yeah. No, thou art that head of gold. I don't know
Yes.
how you could argue with that.
Right.
No, it talks about something interesting. Somebody pointed this out to me a long time ago. And verse 43, Daniel 2:43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So it says that iron shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So they're doing something, the iron is doing something with the seed of men.
Yeah, and it's strange even.
So that seed has everything to do with genetic, because we're talking about gold, silver, bronze, iron, then iron mixing with clay, and they shall not mingle themselves, they shall mingle with the seed of men. And so we would say this is all the kingdoms from Babylon down to the present day, these powers passing down from empire to empire to empire to empire down to the end. And then the final thing has to do with the seed of men.
Yeah, in fact, the representatives of these ancient empires is probably has to do with the seven heads of the Mystery Babylon. And in fact, some guy way back, I heard he shot at a UFO being in his backyard, and it bounced off and it sounded like metal.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we have this. It says the beast which I saw was like a leopard, his feet like a bear, his mouth like a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So this power of England, Russia, and United Europe is in the same geographic place, right in the middle of the earth. So now that is the center of the 10-nation confederacy, the center of power. Some people would disagree. They would say, "Oh, Europe is a mess. They're full of immigrants and they're all falling apart." Well, I believe that the Rothschilds, the richest in the world, will pump trillions of dollars back into United Europe to make them strong again. And so...
In the book of Revelation, the end times, the lens changes back to Israel from this, Gentile scattered church.
Yeah.
And that window of prophecy, Israel is the apple of God's eye. And then also it's the time, Israel is the timepiece for biblical prophecy. So chapter 4 through chapter number 19 of the book of Revelation, it's mostly just dialed in on that little piece of terra firma we
Yes.
call the promised land.
Right. In fact, talking about the Rothschilds, they helped to create the nation of Israel.
Yes.
And they with the British government, and so if you look in Israel, in the Supreme Court of on the top of the roof of the Supreme Court in Jerusalem, there's a pyramid with an all-seeing eye, and there's an obelisk in the back of the building, and this is the Rothschilds designed this building for a future that the Antichrist will eventually move from Rome to, I believe, to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
To set up the 3.5 years, the second 3.5 years of the tribulation,
Sure.
and where the abomination
And the
of
Jewish
desolation.
people receive this person as their Messiah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And sign the peace covenant with them. And then, of course, the Jewish people are quite involved in the network, this global network.
yes, very powerful
And- yeah.
because of controlling the money.
Yeah.
Kissinger said, if you control the money, you control the world. In fact, most people are jealous of the Jewish race because of their control of money, which
Bill Grady says you can explain anti-Semitism this way, is that Jews know how to make money and Gentiles want the money that the Jews make.
yeah. Right, and the Rothschilds are they started off, they're German Jews,
Yeah.
and they integrated into the royalty of Britain and France, especially, very powerful Masonic financial centers, and then had different banks in Naples, Rome, Austria, and Vienna, in Vienna, and so the connection there is that the financial powers connected with the United Nations is very prevalent because not only is the United Nations powerful in New York City, their main hub, which people don't even think about or know about, is in Geneva, Switzerland, and in Vienna, Austria. And in the spirit in Switzerland is that it's a neutral country. It has CERN, which is with the Hadron Collider, is supposed to open up the pit of hell, and so this spirit.
Yeah, explain that thing. It's like some sort of particle accelerator?
Yes. Yeah, right. If I can just get to that. With the Davos is in Switzerland, which is the center of the World Economic Forum,
Yeah.
which is the next step of control of intellectuals and the financial elite, having these guests speak about AI and economic control, and Klaus Schwab, ex-Nazi, talking about you're going to have nothing and be
enjoy it.
happy, and
Yeah.
and then we're going to have the fourth industrial revolution, which is connected with the fourth kingdom, the fourth kingdom, which is the spirit realm. The fourth industrial revolution has to do with artificial intelligence, security, AI security, watching the world with cameras all over the place, and having robots take over the workforce, with people, a lot of people that are not going to, they're going to be useless eaters, and they're going to be happy and have enough to be surviving. Where was I? Yeah, so the Bible says that money answers all things. I'm talking about, let me see here. Oh, yeah. I forgot to get into the. No, we'll get to that CERN there. It says, and Jesus knew their thoughts and said, "Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." So we have this division of liberal and conservative, and Democrat and Republican, and Trump going against. He's telling the Democrats, "You should be ashamed of yourself," and when he did his speech there. But the Hegelian dialect says that a framework for guiding thoughts and actions into conflicts leads to a synthetic solution, which can only be introduced once those being manipulated take a side that will advance the predetermined agenda.
So the power structures that be, even in political division and in turmoil, use both sides. So let's say you have an invasion of drugs into the country, and then you have to have a big police force to fight the drug dealers, or like prohibition of alcohol, and then now you have the FBI. So you create chaos and have a solution of order.
Yes.
Constantly. It never stops.
Right. In fact, George Soros which is a servant of the Rothschilds, he said the main enemy of the open society is not communist but a capitalist system. He said the main obstacle to a stable and just world order is the United States. He said destroying America will be the culmination of my life's work. And to create a problem and fund the extremist, and then incite a reaction, and then bring in a solution, is really what they do with Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and then bring in the police force to bring chaos into order.
Right. And so let's take it Minnesota, for example. So they figured like $60 million has gone to support the protesters there so far, been donated. And then also you control the Republican side. Let's go in there and squash that rebellion.
Yeah.
So the two wings of the bird.
Right.
You got to be both good and evil.
Yeah. In fact, Lenin said that the way to crush the bourgeoisie is to grind them between the millstones of taxation and inflation. And that's exactly what the Federal Reserve does. If you watch Bloomberg, you'll see all the transactions that the Federal Reserve does every single day that's behind your back and while you're sleeping. So they can control the interest rate, how much you borrow, the price of bonds, the price of gold and silver. They can manipulate that. In fact, the gold was stolen out of Fort Knox,
right,
and brought to the the Federal Reserve in New York City and other places in United Europe. And that was like $66 billion of gold. And Lenin says a man with a gun can control 100 without one. And atheism is a natural part of communism. And Trotsky said religions are the primitive ignorance, and they are nothing as ridiculous and tragic as religious government. Now with Putin, I believe, like I said, I think Ukraine is one of the ribs in his mouth, and Trump's having a hard time stopping him. He's trying to bring peace to the whole world. Well, I think he's going to shake hands with the Antichrist even before the Antichrist is revealed.
Yeah. Do you think he could be like John the Baptist to the Antichrist? Because here's the thing. Is the Antichrist he's coming in as a good guy, not a bad guy. He doesn't have like horns growing out of his head. I mean, he's the savior.
Yeah.
And the hero gonna bring in the golden age and making world peace.
Yeah.
And so right now, who's made peace with Israel the most? Donald Trump.
Yes.
And so they say that he is like some sort of, his orange hair or whatever, some sort of a descendant of, who'd they say they're a descendant of? I'm not going to quote it because I can only get it wrong. But yeah, I have a temple coin here. It's gold temple coin, and it's got the third temple on the back with Donald Trump on the other side, and it says something about Cyrus and Donald Trump, that they believe that he's like Cyrus, that he is going to allow the building of the third temple. So, I mean, they have received him, and so they're going to receive the Antichrist. They're going to make a deal with him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, he's got this Council of Peace, and he's going all over the world trying to stop wars. Well, that's what the Antichrist wants to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says, by peace he shall destroy many.
Yeah.
So his campaign is world peace. No more wars. We're not going to have war anymore.
Yeah, but the contrast to that is Trump wanting to go into Iran and doing a regime change, which Iran is an ally of Russia, and Putin someday might just help him. And now you got a big war on your hands. In Ezekiel 38 and 39, whether it's the war and the tribulation or not,
Gog and Magog.
That's a future big war.
And it sounds like it's a nuclear war.
Yeah.
So it'll be burning for 7 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. But I just wanted to get back to the European Union. It said it has 4 heads with 4 wings, and I think the 4 heads are Spain, France, Italy, and Germany, and the 4 wings are Netherlands, Belgium, Austria, and Switzerland. So I believe the Antichrist comes out of the European Union because it's the revived Roman Empire within a 10-nation confederacy, and it's also very Catholic, and the church, the Catholic Church being the head of this mystery Babylon religion. And in Strasbourg, France, the governmental building is shaped like the Tower of Babel. Now, when I mentioned the pictures in Europe with the woman riding the beast, it goes back to mythology with the queen of Phoenicia being carried off by Zeus, the king of the gods, in the form of a white bull. So she's seduced by this bull, Zeus or Jupiter, and it's the same thing with the European Union being seduced by the devil. And this 4th kingdom, I believe, is the United Nations. And Warburg said that whether you like it or not, we're going to have a world government achieved by conquest or consent. And in 1945, there was a delegation to bring about the United Nations with Nelson Rockefeller at the head. And then they gave him, then John D. III gave a check for $8.5 million. Now all the United Nations secretaries of state, secretary generals have been either communists, socialists, and Kurt Waldheim was a Nazi. Supposedly went against America in World War II. And then the United Nations Charter was written up by an avowed spy, Alger Hiss, who went to jail for being a spy. Now, George Bush said that sacred principles enshrined in the United Nations should be a charter for the American people to pledge their allegiance, written by
will henceforth pledge their allegiance.
Yeah, written by a Russian spy.
Alger Hiss.
So here's the crux of the end times, I believe. And George Bush, Mr. New World Order, said out of these troubled times, Our fifth objective, 5 is the number of death. A New World Order, where we now are in sight of the United Nations that performs as an envisioned by its founders. And then Soros says the sovereignty of the states must be subordinated to an international law and international institutions. America should be replaced by a world government with a global currency under UN rule. All right, and then with a court in The Hague, International Criminal Court in The Hague in Netherlands. And I was in the United Nations in New York. It's very satanic. And they have their own publication, Lucis Trust, which used to be the Lucifer Trust. And outside is a gun with a knot on it, so you can't shoot it. Oh yeah, and the newest thing was this conglomerate beast, like in Daniel 7, and in Daniel 13. In Revelation 13. And George Bush said, New World Order foresees the United Nations with a peacekeeping function. And so now you have the peacekeepers that worship Zeus. There's a statue of Zeus in the United Nations. And so now we're going to connect that with this end time scenario. And it says in Acts 19:35, it said, the Ephesians is the worshiper of the great goddess Diana and the image which fell down from Jupiter. So in those times in the book of Acts, Diana was worshipped, and it says an image fell down from Jupiter. Now, what's the image on Jupiter? It's the great red spot, which is a storm,
Yeah.
which is like an all-seeing eye, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I just said that the Phoenician goddess Europa was carried away by Zeus in the form of a white bull. And one of the moons of Jupiter is this, what did I say? Europa.
Okay.
That's one of the moons of Jupiter. So now you have the relationship of Jupiter and Europa, United Europe being Europa.
Interesting.
And it's an all-seeing eye of the great red spot. And I said in 2010, they go to Jupiter, and then with being guided by the black monolith, the United Nations is a black monolith, and the Jupiter blows up and becomes Lucifer, a star in heaven with the sun created by Jehovah. So in the movie 2010, at the end, the actor, I forgot his name, he goes, someday the children of the old sun will meet the children of the new sun, and I think they'll be our friends. They're telling you the future in the movie.
Yeah.
The occultic future of metal, of iron and clay.
Yeah.
Mixed together.
There's a lot of that in movies.
Amazing how
And,
that
mankind
came
always is fascinated with going beyond the boundaries that God has given them. You know, think of any of the Superman can leap buildings in a single bound, or all these X-Men movies. There's been dozens of them made,
Yeah.
and the Avengers, and it all has to do with superhuman.
Right, and X-Men. Remember,
Yeah.
the letter X. What did Elon Musk? He changed to
X.
right,
Yeah.
and you always have evil words. Like fox and all these words that end in X, right? And then you have the occultic chronology of these words. But I want to mention
So X-Men, X means what again?
well,
X-Men.
yeah, and X.
Turn Twitter to X.
In fact, who was the guy that murdered those people in California? What's his name?
Charles Manson.
He put an X on his forehead.
Oh, yeah. So what does X mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's evil.
Yeah, ultimately, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. X marks the spot, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Charles Manson. Yeah. X. The girls did the same thing.
Yes.
Yep. Carved that into their heads. X.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Elon changed Twitter to X.
Yeah. And then his mother is an occultic person too. Elon's mother.
Okay.
Yeah. Very occultic. But I just wanted to talk about the phoenix bird is a bird that after 500 years is burned up and dies and is born again, a new world order. And you see that in the pictures of the United Nations and their agenda of 2030 agenda is to bring in their global goals, which is no poverty, no hunger, no good health, quality education, gender equality, clean water, good jobs, renewable energy, etc. But what it really is, it's not a utopia, it's a dystopia of control. And if you see the buildings at the United Nations in Geneva, they're in the same architecture of Speer, that was the architect of Germany in the Nazi regime. So you have the same architecture in both regimes of past and present. So then the Geneva United Nations really is the main hub of this beast system, like we were talking about, with the Davos being in the center there with the World Economic Forum and CERN, the Hadron Collider. I wanted to answer what you asked me before. It says it's a very large particle accelerator. Its primary function is to use electric fields to force charged particles to move at very high speeds and collide them with each other and thereby create an early stages of a Big Bang. It smashes protons moving at 99% speed of light, which each others, and so recreate conditions of a fraction of a second after the Big Bang. So it's supposed to, with the Shiva statue in front of it, she's a statue of destruction in the Indian icon religion of, Hinduism.
Yeah.
She's the queen of destruction, Shiva. And so this collider, they want to be
circle.
They want to be like God to recreate the Big Bang. But supposedly, the theory is that because of this powerful force, they will open up a portal in the pit of hell.
Do you think that that's what the Tower of Babel was, something like that?
The Tower of Babel?
Yeah.
As far as being a portal?
Some sort of interdimensional portal.
I don't know. I've heard that. I'm not sure. I know they're trying to
be like gods, and whatever was in their mind at that time period, God had to come down and confound the languages.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to be like the Most High, like the devil, right? To make a ladder to go to.
And all these pyramids have to do, a lot of them, especially like the Aztec pyramids and things, have to do with worship of the serpent, which is the animal of illumination. Again, they're all worshiping Satan.
Yes, the pyramids of the Mayans and the Aztecs, they show
the summer solstice. You can see an oscillating serpent coming down those pyramids.
Right.
They were designed for the summer solstice.
Yeah.
And that's when they would do the human sacrifice.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked about that, but I mean, that is plain and evident pretty much to everybody that nefarious practices, especially with innocent children, have been going on. exposed to a certain amount. They're in Epstein files, all these billionaires doing nefarious things.
Yeah, no, you're right. Abortion is really a human sacrifice.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And you think about it, 60 million in the United States, all wearing lab coats, you know, and that's science. That is science, 60 million human lives. Innocent. Yeah, and then all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, no, I have here.
The destroyer, the taker of life.
Yeah, it says that the town where the temple was dedicated to Apollyon, the destroyer, was in the same place where CERN is. In fact, Abaddon the Destroyer has to do with Revelation 9:11, and that was the same date of the Twin Towers attack.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the moon god that attacked those buildings. It was the pit of 9/11, the Abaddon in the pit of hell.
Wow.
And so the connection is, the people that did it are Luciferians.
Sure.
Yeah, that says the king over them was the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon.
Apollyon, the destroyer.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to the Pastoral Thoughts Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Please reach out to us at pastorthoughtsmail@gmail.com. Also, if you want to check out more about our ministry here, you can visit pastorjack.org. I do have a blog that I do write. I'd love to have you as one of my subscribers there. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for listening. God bless you.